Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from SweetStamper.com, and I'm really pleased to be here with you today. It is Thursday, and that means it's time for simple and stepped up stamping. I'm technically coming to you at my new later time of 4 p.m. Today I was a little bit delayed, and I appreciate your patience with me. I've had a lot of juggling to do lately. So hi, Linda and Pat. I'm glad you're here with me live. If you are here with me on the replay, be sure to just put in the comments replay, and that way I know you've been here. And hi, Thelma. I'm glad you're here as well. If you're watching on YouTube, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and I would appreciate as well you subscribing to my channel. I download all of my Facebook Lives into YouTube, and that way people who are not on Facebook can find me, as well as people who want to be able to watch the Facebook Lives in a little different format, because they're all categorized by playlist. So yeah, I've just come from a funeral, so and I have another one on Saturday. It's been a time of yeah, everything that comes across my desk over the last month or so has been, as far as a prayer request, has been like this. I don't have any of those small prayer requests. I haven't had any of those prayer requests about, pray for my kid who's looking for a job. Not that that's a small prayer request sometimes, but nothing like that. It's all been like terminal diseases and heart attacks and deaths, and it's been heavy. And I will tell you that one of the things I love to do when life gets heavy is stamp. It gives, that purpose to what we're doing, and it gives us the opportunity to express creativity. It's a God-given gift to us. He is a creator, and he's made us with the ability to do something creative. So with that being said, let's do some simple stamping today. Let me get my ducks in a row here before we go. Okay, here we go. And I don't even have my computer on to see where you can, This is what happens when I'm kind of coming in on the fly. But I will say, I don't like to cancel something unless I absolutely have to. So here we are. And I ran a little late, but I didn't have to cancel. So let me put a little piece of white underneath here so that you can see, and so I can stamp properly here. And we are going to do simple and stepped up stamping. And, Stampin' Up! Does a little challenge for us demonstrators every month. And they encourage us to hashtag simple stamping. And there's always parameters. So simple stamping always starts with stamps, ink, and paper. And sometimes that's where we keep it. This month, for the month of December, our simple stamping challenge is stamps, ink, paper, and ribbon. So ribbon, I will say, is something I really, really love to use in my designing. So this is where we're going today. I wanted something soft, and I wanted something a little bit sober, as it were. That's just kind of my mood at the moment. And this is the kind of card I would send to a number of the people who are reaching out to me right now with prayer requests. So thinking of you in a very soft and very soft and sweet and calm. Hey, Jana, I'm glad you're here with me from Hawaii. That is awesome to have you here with us, and even with the time difference. And Jill and Susan and Jackie, thank you so much for being here with me, and I do appreciate the well wishes. So this is my simple stamping card. It is stamps, ink, and paper. Now let me show you, because we're going to step this up. We do simple and stepped up. And I decided for time's sake today, I would have simple already done, and then we're going to take this and we're going to step it up. I wanted to bring to your attention this beautiful, beautiful stamp set that I'm using today. It's called Quiet Meadow. Everything I'm using today is in our annual catalog. We are, hey, Jana, you're actually in San Antonio, but you have family in Hawaii. You spend a lot of time in Hawaii. Aloha anyway. So everything here is annual catalog, and we are at the tail end of our holiday catalog period. and we're getting ready to launch our spring catalog in January. So I thought, you know what, this is a stamp set that I haven't gotten to use very much, and I really fell in love with it when it came out in the annual catalog. And it does, I think for simple stamping, it's really brilliant because you have 4 outstanding greetings. And then you have a couple of really good backgrounds, some tiny little flowers as well that work in backgrounds. This is probably my favorite stamp in the set, and so you will see that being featured today. Now, there are dies that coordinate. So we can, when we're stepping up, look at all the dies. I mean, these are really awesome. Now, these are all like silhouette dies. So these dies do not cut out this set of flowers or this set of flower or this little single flower. You get a beautiful label, which I'm going to use, some little tiny leaves, a butterfly. I mean, this little tag, there's a lot here. And so the bundle is definitely worth. I also want to remind you that if this carries over into the new annual catalog in May, and we don't know that it will, but then the bundle price will no longer be active. So bundle prices are only valid typically the first time a stamp set and matching punch or dies are featured with them. So with that being said, let's see what we're going to do. Now, on my original, I have a card base of Sahara Sand. And Sahara Sand, you can see, it has a little bit of a greenish cast. So this is the cooler version of Crumb Cake. Crumb Cake is much warmer, and Sahara Sand is cool, but it has a little bit of a green cast, and so I thought it went really well. This is Soft Succulent, keeping things really, really soft. However, what I thought I might do, I could kind of brighten things up a little bit. I was kind of going through my scrap pile. This is just jade, and it definitely brightens things. So we'll kind of think about what we're going to do there. The other thing I'm going to bring in is I went ahead and cut out one of these. Isn't that a gorgeous, gorgeous silhouette image? And I also did a little bit of, I wanted to use that, where did I put it? I wanted to use that little tag, this little guy. So I maybe too much of that color. Let's see. Nope, that's not going to work. I think we're going to go back here, and we're going to go back here. So let's see how we get on. And I'm going to use the same ribbon, which is the lovely, lovely, very vanilla lace trim. I did find this and thought that might be kind of fun to stamp on because this is already textured. I would need to trim it down a little bit, but that might be kind of a fun element. And then I thought we might bring in some extra ribbon. So I have very vanilla twine that I could maybe work with the ribbon, the lace trim. I also have this. Now this is a little bit of a sneak peek. This is from our upcoming spring catalog. There's a set of 3 twines together, and this deep green, I'm not sure, it might be shaded green, but it looks, you know, it's blending really, really well with this Evening Evergreen. And then I thought, well, I thought some of these metallic pearls might look nice. The metallic pearls come in gold and silver, but I thought this silver might be just the ticket that I'm looking for. So let's see how we get on. I mean, honestly, you could just go with that. You don't even need very much more than that. Ooh, look at there. Well, now. Well, now, let's just see. Ooh. And we could even offset it. So then this would look quite nice there with a bigger piece of vanilla. I'm kind of liking that because it brightens it up, but still keeps those kind of smoky greens, those kind of soft, that was kind of a look I was wanting to go with. So let's see. Let's bring this stamp in. Now I used the paint spatters here, and I thought I might want to use, I like this one too. It just has a bunch of words, just kind of like dictionary words. So let's see if maybe we'll do a few paint spatters and maybe a few words as well. Now, I think I probably need to trim this down just a wee bit. Like I said, this was just in my scrap bin from who knows what project. So let's just bring this down to 3 and see if that gives us a little bit more. Oh yeah, I think I'm liking that better already. So let's just play with this a little bit. I have the soft succulent ink, and we are going to add some background interest. This is where your background stamps can really, really work for you. So let's see, let's bring in this soft succulent. This is one of our in colors for this year, 2021, and it will go with us through to, oh, you know what? I'm upside down. Okay. I mounted the, that's funny. I mounted the sticker upside down. Let's see. Now we're going to cover up a lot of this, but I wanted to get a little bit of this in here, and then maybe we'll do some paint spatters as well. So let's just kind of run the gamut here with backgrounds. Like I said, this is a really good stamp set if you like stamping. I like just full-on old-fashioned stamping. And honestly, this is a really good set for newer stampers because you have backgrounds, you have greetings, you have flowers, you have just a lot of things that you can work with. So let's just see if we put this here. I guess I need to put that right side up like so. And then, see, we're going to cover a lot of that. So you just kind of have that aged look back there, which I really, really like. Now, one thing I did a little bit of here, I did crunch this up a little bit. And I think that, let's see, I think I want to distress this a little bit. So we could either just distress the edges like this with the bone folder. And you see how that's kind of just making that edge a little bit rough. I think that might be a nice look for this. It gives it a little bit of a vintagey, a little bit of a worn look. And that's kind of, like I said, that's kind of the mood I'm in at the moment. And I thought this would be, whoever I'm going to send this to is probably needing a little bit of comfort, a little bit of compassion, a little bit of just reaching out and saying, you know what, I'm here, I care, I'm thinking about you. That's what I love about thinking of you cards. So there, and then there, and you see how that just adds a lot of texture. Hey Marcia, I'm glad you're here today, and thank you so much for sharing my video. Now I may end up trimming this down even a little bit more. I'm kind of looking at this though and realizing it needs to be on that to be able to pop. So let's see. Although I've already run this through the embossing folder, I think that's actually going to work in my favor because it's going to give me a little bit of a distressed look. Typically, you would stamp first and then run this through the embossing folder, but you know, sometimes when you're going through your scrap bin, you have real inspiration in there. I just inked this, just re-inked this ink pad. So this is Evening Evergreen. I will say, probably of all the new in colors, this is probably my favorite. It's such a deep green, and it's not just for Christmas. We've used it a lot for Christmas. Oh yeah, see how the texturing kind of gives it that look? Ooh, I wonder what would happen if I go like this. If we do a second one. Oh yeah, I think that just might work. Let's see, because, no, no, no. I think that's too busy. So let's go back to square one. And I think I know what I need to do here. So let's flip this over. This is why we have two sides to cardstock. And let's get the chamois out here. And I think that we've used a color that's too strong. And it's made it look a little bit too busy because my die cut here is Evening Evergreen. So I think I actually need to use the soft succulent ink. I still want to use that floral image. So let's just see if I'm stuck on that or if it's actually going to work. I think it's going to work, honestly. Ooh, look at this, even just going with this and this, we've got some good elements already. I'm liking it a lot. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Hey Linda, I'm glad you're here. Well, I ran late today too, so we're really glad that you decided to pop in. Let's see, I'm going to angle this over here. Haha. Ay, 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 I've got a halo down here, so let's just pop that. Okay, let's just do a little surgery here. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Look at that. Okay, now I actually think that's going to work. So I had to chop this down because of the halo that I got from my stamp, but I think it actually works because it's showing a little bit more of my my background, which I really like. Now let's do a little bit of a bow here with this lace trim. Again, this is a very vanilla lace trim. Everything I'm using today is in our annual catalog. And, you know, we're having some global supply chain issues like everybody else in the world. And, you know, it kind of is what it is. So there's, you know, some things that are not orderable right now. But everything I'm working with today is, oh, look how pretty that is. I'm liking that a lot. So let's see. Now, let's see. This is where we get to just play and have fun. Once you have some elements to work with, you can just kind of, I don't need this. I think that's too big. As much as I like this, I think it's too big. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to put a greeting on the outside. I think I'm going to put that on the inside, which is going to be really cool. So we're going to go back to here and here. Now I could angle this a little bit, which I think I might. I think it might look better. Let's see. Yeah, I needed to take a break from Christmas cards too, Linda. I hear ya. And I'm needing some, well, I made a bunch of sympathy cards, thankfully. And so I'm prepared for that. And then the thinking of you oftentimes are really good, not only when people are going through tough times, but sometimes after a sympathy card. Like, I don't know, a month after a funeral, this is a great card to send, thinking of you, because you know what the reality is a loved one passes and there's a lot of activity as people are coming in to, you know, bid that person farewell. People are gathering for funerals and there's oftentimes a lot of paperwork to do, but then the dust settles and you're left with your thoughts and your memories and your sadness sometimes. So this is where kind of a soft thinking of you card is a really good card to have in your stash, ready to bless someone. I just ran out of tape. Ready to bless someone who is going through some tough times. Let's see what I can do here. I have another one ready to go. So this is, I like my cards to have like a consistency, and they need to make sense to me design-wise and purpose-wise. So I think your purpose and your design need to go together. And then you're going to have something that you're really happy to give. Now this is textured. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to work. And I'm just going to layer this. I'm going to angle it just a little bit. And then I need to get a little bit of liquid glue. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my two-way. Sometimes I go in cycles and I don't use this two-way glue, and then I pull it back out again and say, why have I not used this in a while? Let's see, is it going to come for me? Is it going to come out for me? Let's see. Well, it helps if you actually release it from the proper. Let's see, is it flowing? Sometimes this flows freely and sometimes it gets a little bit clogged. Hey Cynthia, I'm glad you're here with us. We are making a soft thinking of you card for people who are running into tough times. You know, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and hopefully a little bit wiser and more sensitive to people. I just encounter so many people who really struggle during the holidays. I think maybe when my kids were young, I just wasn't as aware of it because, you know, you're kind of caught up in the whole hubbub of all of the activities, and your little ones are so excited about Christmas. And then, you know, as I've gotten older, I come across so many people who have, who the holidays are really difficult for them, and for a whole host of reasons. So let's see if this one's going to work for me. Come on. Yay! Okay, what's nice about this two-way glue pen, the adhesive in this, the liquid glue in this is definitely liquid, and it can flow a little bit too fast. That's the one thing you have to kind of learn, to use a light hand with this, but I will say it's super strong glue. So it is, here we go. So let's put that across there, and I'm just going to press it into place. And then, last but not least, well, actually a couple of things we're going to do here. I think we're going to forego this. I think it's just too much of that. I think I did it the wrong color. I think it's just too much of the soft succulent. So I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to put this pretty bow on here. I do like that. So we've stepped up by using an embossing folder here, and we've stepped up by using a die here. Here's my original. And we've kind of changed things up a little bit. Let me grab a mini glue dot here. And, you know, I would have scheduled this. I would have actually probably just bumped this to evening. But you know what? In the middle of all this stuff going on in my life, our son and daughter-in-law who live in England gave us, my husband and I, tickets to the Doc Watkins Orchestra tonight. So I am going to be very happy for a little bit of distraction from the sadder parts of life and go downtown and see this awesome jazz orchestra. It's a local group, but it's at our really posh, it's at the Tobin Center. So it's going to be really a little bit, you know, a little bit posh, a little bit nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a bow on top of a bow. Don't really do that very often, but it's still pretty flat. We'll still mail for a single card, not a single card, a single stamp. So let's pop that here. And then I'm going to, you know, I didn't want to put like rhinestones or something. I wanted to keep it really, really soft. So with that in mind, let's pull in some of these metallic pearls. I think they're going to be just the ticket. Let me grab my... Nothing is where it should be at the moment. On top of everything else going on, we're having a bathroom remodel. Phase 1 is being done today. So I can't use my master bathroom. I had to move all of my toiletries upstairs and trying to get ready for everything today, and showering upstairs and not in my usual spot. So I can't, and of course, you know, when you're doing that, you never bring everything you should have brought. So trying to find everything, and yeah, it's just everything's upside down today. But again, this is why I don't cancel Facebook Live. This is what I need. I need to kind of be with my people today. I need to be stamping today. I need to be doing something that's a little bit lighthearted and a little bit, yeah, it's okay to have fun. In the midst of difficulty, it's okay to have fun. As we were leaving the church where they had the funeral this afternoon, the little playground outside was full. All the kids had found the playground. I thought, you know what? That's just the way it should be. The kids had stayed inside, and then as soon as we broke, boy, they were out the door and on that playground, enjoying life as they should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's going to do it for me. What do you think? We have simple and we have stepped up. I hope you like them both. This is perfect for a new stamper. This is stamped ink and paper with a little bit of ribbon. I tore the edges here, so really simple. This is a 5 by 2 inch layer, super simple. Over here, we stepped it up with a little bit of, this is embossed, this layer is embossed with the textures, I think is what it's called, embossing folder. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's right here. Here we go. Tasteful Texture. This is the embossing folder, so it's very subtle. And it kind of looks like linen. And I stamped on top of it after it had been embossed. So that gives a little different look. It gives a little bit more modeled look. And then we also stepped up by using one of the dies from the bundle. And we added some twine on top of the lace trim. And then we added, last but not least, got a little bit of glue there, we added the metallic pearls. So, I hope you liked my simple stamping today, and I appreciate so much that you tuned in today. Appreciate you being patient with me on timekeeping. I don't like to cancel, and I don't like to run late. I will say I have a habit of running late, but I have endeavored. And I'm about to lick the tardiness, you know. I used to be tardy to class all the time. Now that, you know, in my 60s, I'm about to get that under my belt where I'm not tardy anymore. So anyway, I appreciate you being patient with me today. Thank you so much for joining me for Simple Stamping. I will be back here Tuesday for Teach Me Tuesday. Next Thursday, I will be on an airplane heading for Florida. But I will have some little things here for you to keep you engaged while I'm gone. And make sure you're on my email news because you'll get some little tidbits there as well as I get ready to launch the new spring catalog in January. If you are on my mailing list, you have already received a little survey asking if you would like to opt in for your catalogs being mailed to you. I will get those in the mail next week before I leave. And thank you so very much for your support. Thank you for hanging out with me today here. I needed to be with you, and I needed to stamp a little bit. I needed to make something pretty with stamps, ink, and paper. It's what we do. Thank you so much. Take care, and God bless.